Welcome back to Faith Formation at Home. This week's gospel in this book, we get a shortened version of a much longer gospel. So you might want to check out the Evangelion to get the whole gospel. You can look it up online, you can look it up at a bunch of different sources. But it's basically this story that Jesus tells about a servant who finds out he's going to get fired. And so he decides before he gets fired, while he still has authority, he's going to go to all of his master's debtors, people who owe his master money, and reduce their debt to get himself in favor with them. Right? And Jesus kind of praises this odd behavior. He's not really praising the behavior, right? He's praising the guy's foresight and the fact that he is resourceful, right? And then he changes, and that's where the gospel picks up in here. He kind of changes directions, and he starts talking about trustworthiness, right? And Jesus' point is, if you and I can be, shrewd and, figure out the best way of utilizing resources in little things, then we can be trusted in bigger things. If we can't figure out the little things, we can't be trusted with the big things, right? And so it's ultimately a gospel story about trustworthiness, being trustworthy, but it's specifically about money. So we'll get to the money in a second here. In the context of a family, what does this mean? Those who can be trusted with little can be trusted with much, right? In the context of a family, if I can't trust you as my child to take care of your toys without me having to ride you all the time, then I'm not going to trust you with bigger, more expensive toys, right? You're not getting an iPad or a laptop or anything like that if you can't take care of your action figures and your Legos, right? Same thing can be true of siblings, right? If I can't trust you, my other sibling, to play nicely with my cheaper toys, I'm not going to let you play with my nice fancy stuff, right? But if you show me you're trustworthy in the little things, then yeah, I'll trust you with more. That's how trust works in a basic way with human beings. And it's how we show God that we are capable of handling more of His gifts for us and His mercy for us, and ultimately we're capable of handling heaven, right? When we're trustworthy with the things that He's given us now. What has He given you now? He's given you a family, He's given you parents, possibly siblings, He's given you a school to be a good student, and so we got to be trustworthy in those things so that God can give us more, right? Including eternal life in heaven. I say it's specifically about money because this gospel ends with, you cannot serve both God and mammon. Mammon is kind of a goofy Semitic term for money, right? And so Jesus is talking ultimately about money here. And so the test for all of us, kids and parents, is how do we use our money? That's what Jesus is really asking in this week's gospel, is how do you use your money? Are you using it in a trustworthy way? And is there a better way you could be using it? Do you waste all your money? Do you use any of it to support the church, to support charities, to give to those in need? Or do you just use it all on yourself? And so there's a question to pray over. How trustworthy are we? And specifically in the area of money, how trustworthy are we with the gifts that God has given us?